Tonight, we are looking at a major story that could shape the future of policing in South Africa. Parliament is preparing to open public hearings into the claims raised by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. These hearings are not just about one man or one province, they are about how power, responsibility, and accountability work inside one of the most important institutions in the country. At the center of this story are questions about leadership, about whether the chain of command in the police has been working as it should, and about whether Parliament will be able to fix what seems broken. Over the next few weeks, key figures in South African policing and politics will be called to give evidence. They will have to explain what happened, why it happened, and what should be done now. This process is already creating tension because it puts some of the most senior people in the police and in government under the spotlight. The ad hoc committee in Parliament has appointed Advocate Norman Arendse as the evidence leader. He will be supported by two other advocates, which shows that Parliament wants this to be a serious process with experienced legal minds asking the questions. A long list of high-profile witnesses has been invited. Among them are the National Police Commissioner Fannie Masemola, Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya, Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, Acting Minister Bheki Cele, and their deputies. Even former Police Minister Bheki Cele could be called. Hearings are planned to start between the 16th and 22nd of September and are expected to wrap up by the end of October, though MPs have left open the option of extending the process by 30 days if necessary. Each witness will be given 2 hours to speak, and the committee is prepared to hold sessions in both Cape Town and Gauteng to make sure it can reach everyone on its list. This brings us to the first major complication. Commissioner Mkhwanazi, the man at the center of this story, has said he can only appear before the parliamentary committee after the 24th of September. The reason is that he is also involved in the Madlanga Judicial Commission of Inquiry, which is finally starting its work on the 17th of September in Pretoria after earlier delays. Both processes, the parliamentary hearings and the Madlanga Commission, are separate, and each has its own mandate, but their schedules now overlap. This has angered some MPs, who feel that the parliamentary committee should not be kept waiting. Julius Malema, for example, has argued that if Mkhwanazi cannot appear soon enough, then Parliament should summon him. Malema has been very clear, saying that Mkhwanazi is not the one who should dictate terms to Parliament. In his view, since Mkhwanazi raised these concerns publicly, he must take responsibility and make himself available. Otherwise, MPs will use their powers to compel him to attend. So what exactly will these hearings try to uncover? First, the committee will want to know the full content of Mkhwanazi's claims. What problems did he see? When did he raise them? Who did he tell? And what proof exists to support what he is saying? Second, MPs will look at how the national leadership responded. Did the National Commissioner or the Police Minister act quickly? Were any instructions given? Were they followed? Were there meetings, letters, or reports that show a proper chain of command? Third, the committee will ask what impact this dispute has had on policing in KwaZulu-Natal. Did it create confusion? Did it slow down crime-fighting operations? Did it damage trust between the police and the communities they serve? And finally, the committee will consider whether new rules or safeguards are needed to stop similar problems from happening again. Each witness will bring a different piece of the puzzle. National Commissioner Fannie Masemola will speak about the overall command structure. Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya may explain operational details. Police Minister Senzo Mchunu and Acting Minister Bheki Cele will be asked about political oversight and whether the executive responded properly to warnings from the province. If former Minister Bheki Cele appears, he will face tough questions about decisions made when he was in charge and whether those decisions contributed to the current situation. The evidence leader will have to bring all these threads together into one clear picture so that MPs and the public can see where things went wrong. At the same time, the Madlanga Judicial Commission will be gathering its own evidence on separate but related issues. The risk here is that the two processes might step on each other's toes or create confusion in the public mind. That is why MPs have been clear that Parliament's work must remain independent and should not interfere with the Judicial Commission, and vice versa. If both processes stay in their lanes, one focusing on parliamentary oversight, the other on judicial fact-finding, they could actually complement each other and give South Africa a fuller picture of what has been happening inside the police service. For communities in KwaZulu-Natal, the stakes could not be higher. When there are leadership disputes at the top, ordinary people often feel the effects on the ground. Crime fighters lose focus. Criminals become bolder. Victims wait longer for justice. That is why a clear outcome from these hearings matters. It can restore confidence, show that rules and responsibilities apply to everyone, and make sure that the police leadership speaks with one voice when tackling crime. As we wait for the first witnesses to appear, there are key things for the public to watch. Do the witnesses agree on the basic facts, or do their stories contradict each other? Are documents produced to back up what people are saying, or are we hearing only opinions and memories? Do MPs focus on real solutions, like training, reporting systems, and accountability rules, or do they spend most of their time scoring political points? And does the committee keep the process professional and focused, or does it descend into shouting matches? These signals will tell us whether this process is serious about fixing problems or just performing for the cameras. Looking ahead, the strength of the committee's final report will depend on three things: the quality of the evidence it receives, the seriousness with which MPs approach the task, and the willingness of the executive branch to act on whatever recommendations come out. If all three of those factors align, South Africa could see real reforms in police leadership, better systems for handling internal disputes, and a stronger focus on accountability in the future. We will be following this story closely as the dates approach and as the first witnesses appear. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future updates. And tell us in the comments, do you think Commissioner Mkhwanazi should be summoned if he delays his appearance? What questions would you want MPs to ask first? And what changes do you think could make the biggest difference in fixing leadership problems inside the police? Add your voice below, and let's keep this conversation going.